This video was submitted by Captain Mangoman, and it's an Orisa / Junkrat on King's Row. Unfortunately, we've lost about a minute in the attack phase. It's just how the video came, so... But they're still at the choke. Not much has happened. They don't have any progress. Let's just get right into it.
I'm gonna try to annoy the shit out of the... Oh! Yeah, I know, I just died.
So, the first mistake you made right there was you used Fortify when your shield was still up. The two ways you tank as Orisa is with your shield and your Fortify. So, you don't want to stack them. You don't really want to use Fortify when you still have a shield up. Obviously, there will be some situations when they get past your shield, so you need a Fortify. But when it's like this, when you're going to have to shield and Fortify, don't stack them, because you just reduce your effectiveness and you become a less tanky player because of it. Otherwise, always play what you want to play. Always just play what you feel like playing. It's a video game. You should always just play what you want to play. But if you're going to be a main tank and you're wondering what would be the best for it, probably a Reinhardt would be better. It's better to work with your Zarya. It's easier for Zarya and Rein to work well together than an Orisa and a Zarya. And plus, since they're holding up here with an Orisa really close, you can easily just walk past her shield, and then her shield is null and void, and you still have your shield because your shield comes with you. The pros play Orisa on this map on defense, but where do they play? They play on the high ground up here, because the Reinhardt, if they played down here, would just walk past it. Even if they played on the point, he just walks past it, and then their shield becomes obsolete. But up here, the shield is useful, and Reinhardt has no way to get up there. He has to take a long walk to get up there and walk past the shield. So if they're playing down here, I would just switch to Rein for that reason, and for the reason that the statue here is such a great charge target. If anyone is standing right here and you just charge, wait for Orisa to use her Fortifying, if you want to charge her or someone else, and then charge them into the statue, then you risk very little with your life, because they'll hardly ever one-shot you there. You boom, you put your shield back up, and your healers are right here. So that's just another thought of why I would also pick Rein here. But if you want to play Orisa, that's fine. It's not like you're completely damaging your team.
Oh, what the hell was that? That was lag.
Oh. It's good that you focused the supercharger, because that's definitely the thing you want to shoot at when you can. If the supercharger is right there in front of you, you want to shoot that first, even if their whole team is there, because that's like giving everyone a nano boost on their team. So you want to get rid of that before you really start shooting it well. Unfortunately, the D.Va was body blocking it accidentally, but that was the right target to shoot at.
I blinked out. What the
Here,
hell?
I can potentially, no, maybe I won't be able to res you. Nope, I died.
This bus is kind of like splitting your team. I haven't seen your Moira at all on this side with you. That's where she should be. I guess you have your Mercy here, so it's okay. But just try to, since I think you're in a 6 stack, try to get your healers with the tanks, because basically this bus is splitting you. The shield is splitting you. This Moira needs to be on this side healing you, or you guys need to all rotate over there and be with her. But this Moira is getting very little effectiveness. You might have survived if she was actually there healing you. So that's just a team-wide thing. Just working as a team. Tanks want to be with healers. Healers want to be with tanks. It's very...
Here, I can potentially, no, maybe I won't be able to res you. Nope, I died.
Their Mercy's down.
Just wasted
grab. Guys, push. Oh, the Junkrat.
Mercy's dead.
Oh, it's coming for you, sorry.
Perfect.
What the?
Alright, push
My
through the point.
Valkyrie's ready.
We got this.
I'm probably gonna win this based on the spawn advantage alone. But yeah, you guys are not playing as a team or like using your abilities very well. Your Zarya wasted grab, but right here you just pressed all buttons. You just pressed all your buttons, and for really no reason. So again, use shield and then fortify. This fortify is doing what? It's mitigating what damage. So this was a wasted fortify. The shield is in a fine spot, maybe a little far, but I'm not going to really nitpick on that. It's around this corner is a great spot to initiate onto the point. That you pulled the Torbjorn and just
Here back.
did not shoot at it. You decided to shoot the telephone booth. Like, you get the pull on him, which is great, and then you move away from him as he's being pulled in. Like, when a target gets pulled, they're going to be stuck there for like a second, and you probably could have melted him before he uses one core, if you didn't have it.
Thank you.
And then you kind of wish you had Fortify there, because he just walks past your shield and shoots you in the face. So, if you used your abilities there and aimed a little better, you probably would have survived. But you just wasted Fortify. You didn't shoot at your pull target. So shoot at your pull target, and don't waste Fortify. It's basically the two things to learn from this death.
Baby Diva's down. Kill the Mercy. Kill the Mercy. Nah,
Mercy
Mercy.
down.
Oh,
Hell
here we
yeah.
go.
Good shit.
Well, I can rip this back.
Oh, wait, you looked at the hero screen, didn't you? I missed it.
Down.
There we go. So let's take a look at the hero pool, the hero screen. And you have some synergy with the Zarya and the Hanzo. And you got an abundance of healing with Moira and the Mercy. I think Ryan probably be the best tank in this comp, because it synergizes better with the Zarya. But it's not an overly awful like pick. I think it's slightly worse, but again, it's not. Just if you play Orisa way better than you play Ryan, then the Orisa pick is the right choice. Probably switch off the Torbjorn now that you've capped the first point. So just keep going.
Kill the Mercy. Kill the Mercy. Nah,
Mercy
Mercy.
down.
Oh,
Hell
here we
yeah.
go.
Good shit.
Well, I can rip this back.
Whatever.
Nope.
Nice.
I'm gonna take a knee now.
Junkrat is the next one pushing behind the shield. Come back to the shield. Okay, that works.
Ooh, nice job.
God, I love playing Orisa.
Ooh.
I got
Nice
2
full
kills,
spawn.
guys.
I mean, there you did okay, but your shield was up before, so both your shield and Fortify up, so you probably should have done shield, and then when that shield broke, Fortify, because then your shield would be back up before, because Fortify takes longer, so you want to do shield, and then the timer will start going for the cooldown, and then when that breaks, you use Fortify, and by the time that Fortify is done, you can use shield again. So, you did tempo it, but in the backwards order.
Need
Nice.
healing, need healing, need healing.
I got you.
Thank you.
Switch to me.
So right now you're just staggering them, shooting the payload a little bit.
Bro.
Get that main, get that main. Main.
So you notice how this fight is so easy. Your Tracer got 2 kills off the bat, and they just kept feeding you without dying on the payload. Like, either it's run away or die on the payload. So if you're ever the defense like this and you get killed like that, there's no way to really come back from that. If you think you're losing the fight, you want to fight on the cart, because that way they don't kill you and get payload distance. They have to kill you and then get payload distance. Because if I was them, I would have just died when you're at the choke. Because so right now, your payload is halfway to the second point, and you still haven't had a second fight, like, or really a first fight, really, because your Tracer just killed them, and then boom, they're just staggering themselves. These people will still die, and you'll probably be at second point, and you'll probably get second point wicked easy.
You got it, man. Oh god, yeah, take the cookies.
Oh no.
I'll try to res you in a second.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Like,
Oh, okay. Thank
what's
you.
my average power? My
No problem.
average energy
Look at
is
that. Okay,
67%.
and you're just getting payload. Look how far the payload moved that fight before they all died. Look how far it is. If they had all died on the payload up there, they would be able to recontest around here with a full team. So, die on the payload. Please. Die on the payload when you're on defense.
Go team. Orisa coming.
If you want to hold on,
Orisa, Diva.
it's almost ready.
Did they have a diva before?
Yeah.
They did.
It looks like you understand the corners are very good. So corners are a really good spot for shield tanks, especially like Rhine or Orisa, because once your shield breaks or you need to replenish your shield, you can use the cover right here and still really command the same space. So you can contest the enemy team, poke out, put your shield up, fire, and then kind of fall back behind cover. So it looks like you understand that very well with this positioning. Because you did it also kind of on the point, but you used up all your abilities. Did you do that here too? Did you? Yeah, you used Fortify. You seem to want to use Fortify right when you use Shield. You gotta get out of the habit. You're pressing both buttons at the same time. Like, you're pressing all the buttons at the same time. So, be purposeful with your abilities. Don't just use it because you have it. Do it for a reason. Try to slow yourself down and be like, I'm going to use this pull to pull in this Torbjorn or this May, or to do something with it. Like, you have a target to pull. And then put your shield up, in a good position, so your shield's in a good position, but then your Fortify. Why are you using Fortify? There's no reason. You're not getting shot because your shield is protecting you.
If you want to hold on,
Orisa, Diva.
it's almost ready.
Did they have a diva before?
Yeah.
They did. They did.
Okay. Up.
So, look at this. Look right here. I don't know how much health you had, but let's see how much health you have walking out here.
Up.
So you wouldn't have survived. But let's just say you had full health. Your Fortify was on 1 second cooldown. You can survive a Junkrat Riptire if you have Fortify, because it does 50% less damage. And so that's 300 health instead of 600. And so you would have survived with 100 health if you had Fortify. You might have still died to the spam, but you notice how wasting your cooldowns make it so that at times when you need it, you don't have it.
Oh no.
Oh, nope, I ran into that.
So yeah, and that's a
I'm
reset.
gonna get my ult and then I'm switching over to Junkrat.
They still have the same comp. You're still running the same comp.
Oh shit, we're ahead by a lot.
It's really not much you have to worry about. I mean, it's good to track ults. You just kind of use yours to help everyone else kind of get their ult. Is probably the best usage. And you use it when the enemy team can't run away. And I don't mean that like after you won the fight, but like when the enemy team is like right on you and everything's about to kick off, that's when you want to use your supercharger. So, I mean, they're just way up here, not organized.
So far away from the point, why are they all here?
I mean, being far away from the point's not bad if it's not moving. But they're just not organized together.
Switching.
I'll res you, Orisa. I have my ult ready as well.
Yeah, so it seems like you just used things without really thinking, because you used your shield and then immediately walked past it. If you immediately walked past the shield, then you either didn't need the shield or it was in a bad spot. And so you didn't need the shield because after that Junkrat died, it was just the Moira. I'm sure you could have just tanked that. It wasn't a big deal. And so you can put the shield now on the payload, and when you start moving the payload, it'll come and move with you.
So when we do that...
So, I hardly see Orisa on this part on third. Reinhardt's really more superior because of all the angles, and just being able to move your shield in the right way really is really useful.
I'll push home, try to use it.
Go, Hanzo.
Guess they switched to Zen. You did not use Fortify. The one time you saved your thing, you needed to use it. Because you're getting frozen. Fortify saves you from freezing, so... I don't know how much you know Orisa, but you obviously don't understand the abilities very well. You just press all the buttons when you see the enemy team, and then you kind of forget about them afterwards. So your healers save you, but they really did not need to. You took. I know you're like, oh, but I survived with my healers because you have an abundance of healing with the Mercy and Moira. But know that because they had to heal you, Zarya got no healing. Because they were both focusing you to survive you. If you had just fortified during that locked out, Zarya probably would have survived because she would have been able to get the healing. Plus, you had shield that you could have put up. So those are the kind of things that happen when you misuse your thing. Resources get put into you, and not somewhere else.
It's not already. There. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I just never didn't go inside.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Again, you just press all the buttons. You pressed all the buttons. What was the Fortify used here for? Again, you just pressed all the buttons. So, practice using shield without pressing the button. If you need to go into the practice range and just start throwing shields, wait for your shield to go away, and then Fortify. And then when the Fortify goes away, put up another shield. Just kind of tempo yourself with that, so you don't just throw out all your abilities at once.
Yeah, I love Orisa.
Watch out, they got an ant in that left corner. Fuck.
That time you could have survived if you used Fortify. So, I mean, you probably still would have lost. You would have survived, and Zarya would have died because I guess she didn't have a bubble. Junkrat was dying, and they have massive spawn advantage, so it really didn't matter. It's probably actually good. It's probably good that you died to the tire because dying to an ultimate doesn't give the enemy team ult charge, and so surviving it would have just given the enemy team someone else ult charge. So probably you weren't thinking that, but it actually worked out.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I'm dead.
That's a great dragon, but at the wrong time.
Let's get it.
Their whole team's going to be back by the time your whole team's there, so that's just a wasted ult. I know it looks great. It looks great on the kill feed. You probably get play of the game, but that's just a wasted ult. Look, he had to fall back because, you know, the Mercy still died. You guys weren't there, and their team's going to go. So, does your Zarya have Grav? Because now, if your Zarya has Grav, and he doesn't have that dragon, you know, great. Good job. You got 4 kills when it didn't matter. How important would those 4 kills been if you done it like in the next 3 seconds? And besides that, Hanzo wasted his ult. For you, again, you just pressed all the buttons again and used Fortify behind your shield. I think you've gotten like 10% of the value out of your Fortify, and like you're just wasting Fortify this entire game. It's like you never even had that ability.
Thanks for coming me.
I played
Junkrat, if you step back a little bit, I can fly to you.
And then, so you put down the shield and then went away from it. So you like these corners, which at times is good, but now the payload's a little farther up, and you moved up, but then you backed off from your shield. So you took damage when you had a shield up and could have stayed behind it.
Yeah.
And then you respond to the Mercy call out, which she called for the Junkrat to back up to fly to him. And that's a Hanzo. So it wasn't even for a flyback. So you completely put yourself out of position for a call that wasn't for you. So if someone called out Orisa, maybe you listen to it, but sometimes like even for like taxing your Mercy back is a good thing, but it wasn't needed because she wasn't actually needed being taxing. She just wanted to get up here on the high ground, so she wasn't even calling you. And as the main tank, it's not your job to really be taxing the Mercy. You don't have any movement ability, so you're just putting yourself there back with her. You needed to stay and basically guard the space. Even if the Mercy was coming back, you staying here would be more useful than you taxing her back. Having like a Hanzo or maybe the Junkrat would be way better.
Oh shit, I thought I had her. My ultimate's ready.
Okay, so you used your ability, you used halt, and then didn't shoot at the things that you halted. Instead, you decided to shoot the trap. So you're a little split in your thought process. You've been throwing halt out just randomly anyway, haven't been shooting at it, so you've probably just been using it. But you see how you're like, oh, I need to shoot that trap, but you just threw out halt. So you're not even thinking of how you're using your halt. So when you use halt, usually you want to shoot at the things that you halted. And coming into this room probably wasn't the best idea, especially alone.
Damn it, I've been killed by every ult, I feel like, dude.
You just need to die.
Oh, I'm dead.
I'm dead as well. Your supports are down. Regroup.
So now they have a soldier, a Mercy.
That's my first death. There we go.
What I do? I use my ult.
Don't wait. Okay, good job. No, I was gonna say, wait to burn up some of Diva's,
Yeah, so you notice how like you got very little value for your supercharger because there was no one there. You know, you want to use supercharger in a way that when you have the ability, your team is fighting the other team, like they don't have the ability to back off, because a higher team would just hide behind this corner right here and they can contest the payload. You can't shoot at them. Your superchargers can't look really around that corner all the way up there.
Got their ult, I got their ult.
Wow.
Nice. Oh shit.
And so your halt was on cooldown, which would have been really nice to pull either the Mercy off the res or to keep her in one spot so you could finish her off. So let's see where you did use pull. Yeah, you just, again, you threw it out there.
Oh, I got their ult, I got their ult.
So this is another instance of using it badly, and then immediately, now that it's on cooldown, seeing a really good opportunity to use it. So that's why you just pressing all the buttons is harmful to you, because there's a good opportunity right now for halt, but you don't have it because you just threw it away.
Wow.
Nice.
And you never even use fortify. Like, you don't even, like, this whole, you probably used it right when you saw the enemy team.
What I do? I use my ult.
Don't wait. Okay, good job. No, I was gonna say, wait.
No, this time you don't use all the buttons, but you never used fortify
I got
here.
their ult, I got their ult.
You walk past your shield,
Nice.
and you're taking tons of damage right now. And you never use fortify. So, it just seems like you're not really thinking about your abilities. And
Oh shit.
what you can use now, what would be good for now, what doesn't need to be used right now.
Wow.
Oh shit.
I got my Valkyrie.
Damn.
And fortify isn't like something you use as like the last thing. Like you have 100 health left and you fortify. You want to use fortify while you still have armor, because that armor also takes off either 5 damage or 50% also, depending on how much damage is coming in. You know, it's 50% all the way up till it's 10, I think, and then it just stops at 5.
Is anyone still out there?
Switch to Hammond for the last bit.
Oh no, don't worry. I just didn't know if I should use my Valkyrie to get there faster.
I still have my ultimate though.
So you didn't call out that soldier at all. I mean, we can't hear you, but you did not pop up here, and you got shot by the soldier. You didn't call him out. He's on the right side all alone. Your team could collapse on him before he could run back to his team.
Regroup.
And he just kind of fed.
That's the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
You're still going to be able to contest.
Wild.
You can be at like one of the doors.
Get the
Be
Orisa.
annoying. That's a good hit.
Oh, I'm dead. Junkrat got me. He's behind you.
Need healing, fuck. And soldier was on this stage. Did we get it?
Oh no. 2-0.
That's okay.
But if we get like a defense, we nearly.
So I'm not going to really comment on the Hammond play. It's whatever. You just switched for the last bit. But definitely on your Orisa play, stop pushing all the buttons. Your positioning is actually fine. I don't see a major flaw in your positioning, but you're just using your abilities right at the start and then completely forgetting them afterwards. So if you do even survive after your cooldowns come back, you aren't really using them to do anything. You're not thinking, all right, I have pull. How am I going to use it? I have fortify. I'll use it to survive once my shield is down. You know, you just don't seem to understand. Like, you just think Orisa is just her gun, and then her abilities are just little fireworks you throw out.
I got it, so we just have to.
Wait, what did you say?
No,
Honestly,
I'm fine.
A Junkrat right here? Yeah, perfect. They're gonna try and come in with
So you're
their
going
shield tanks, you know. We'll be busting right through that like immediately. Don't worry, I got good turret spots.
You don't have to stick to 2-2-2. It's completely fine. Like, you aren't. It's gold. You don't have a meta.
I don't think I have a button.
The meta is playing what you're good
teleport,
at, so
but I don't think it
that's
should
fine.
be an issue for me because I can.
So anyone thinking like you need to play the meta and like, oh, they don't have 2-2-2. I'm not. I mean, it's whatever. If you think Junkrat, you'll have to be more successful in Junkrat. Be Junkrat.
Fly everywhere. I was trying to figure
So I
out
wouldn't
what
hold right into the choke.
option is on the.
So Junkrat, you don't need to be anywhere close to the team. You can just spam the choke from up high. You know, you can be up in this part right here, spamming the choke from way over there, just lobbing grenades, lobbing, and you'll be doing tons of damage. All you do is keep safe and spam. So I assume your team will do exactly what their team did and hold right up here, which is not where you want to hold at all. You do not want to be there. So if you're ever in a 6-stack again, try to have them, I don't know, up here, because the point is to stay up here until they come on the point and then drop down before they get really the first tick. And usually a diva is the first one, and then she flies back up, and then the Orisa has to fall. But at least holding that corner on the point instead of for your tanks, at least, is definitely better than holding the choke. And then you can be up top just spamming, and you usually don't need protection until you're higher up, when people will actually come for you.
The key bindings, because for whatever reason, whenever I go up to a turret, it's like, or not turret, like a portal thing. It says
See, like,
there's no...
See, the soldiers on high ground. That's great. Like, high ground is awesome in Overwatch. It's so important. And you can be up there too. You can be here or on the other side just spamming a choke from pretty much...
Key to get me through it.
Do you want to go up here? Do you want to go up here, Orisa?
Sure. Ship it. Nice.
I like up here. This is where I like to put the Torbjorn turret. This is a good spot.
Well, hold up. Are we using that choke or are we using this choke over here? Come over here.
Looks like you're going to AFK while your team's discussing where they want to hold.
I'm gonna hop back down actually.
Oh shit, nothing but it.
Farah.
So you're way too close. You're way too close. There's no reason for you to be that close. Your grenades can go far. You know, like, do you think standing way back you wouldn't be able to hit grenades into this choke? Like, you're in front of your shield, so there's nothing protecting you, and you're not getting any more value out of your grenades. And like, you're throwing your mines out and jumping yourself in the air. I guess maybe to get an angle that they aren't expecting, but you aren't getting much value out of it. And your mines are your mobility. So if someone jumps you, that's the only way you're getting away, is by mining and going away or finishing off, you know, a low health target with your mines. So these are, again, something you should really think about where you place. Traps are okay too, you know, you put it in a choke or you put it on a flank to let you know. So, but throwing the trap out for no reason is better than throwing a mine out for no reason.
Fuck.
That's freaking Farah.
She's half.
So you know, your tank went up top left, I think, and you need to be up there too. Like, you need to be on the high ground. Being here, you're just exposed. I would have melted you as a dealer or something before, like, you even knew it.
I'll come try to res you in a second.
Oh, she's so low.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's amazing you aren't dead right now. It is amazing you aren't dead. Your positioning is, like, you would be getting the exact same value and probably more if you were just on the high ground spamming that choke. Because right now you have to run away, get health and stuff like that, and not put damage in. When if you're on the high ground, you'd either have your healer there or not even take damage at all. And a Junkrat kills a Pharah on the ground. Like, what is she doing there?
Oh shit, she was low.
Nice ult.
We should move back a little bit, maybe. We're really far forward.
Watch out, the Anna's on the right there, Junkrat.
So, you know, after you've won the fight and everything, it is good to go try to stagger them, but you do need the support of your team, because if that Anna slept you and you had no support, she might have been able to one-shot you if she knew how to do the combo. So always make sure you have your tanks pushing forward first if you're going to try to go stagger the enemy team. And so it's a good idea to go stagger them after you've won the fight and try to make them the next fight engagement time longer. But yeah, you didn't have the support from your tank, so you really, again, couldn't go forward. And again, you're acting like a tank. Like, why are you here? This is an awful spot. This is just awful.
We need another.
There's such a high probability of dying here, and such a low. Like, even if you kill someone, their spawn is right there. You dying is so much farther. They can kill you, and then by the time you come back, 2 more of their people are back. So you don't, on defense, you do not want to die.
Shield. Oh, it's there. Okay.
First half.
pretty nice.
I think it's working.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, do you not see how that can be awful? Like, if anyone called you out, there's 6 stacks, so if anyone called you out, you're dead. There. You're dead. Even if you got a kill, their spawn is right there. So, you're way too aggressive on, especially Junkrat. Because Junkrat, there's no need for you to be there. There's just no need. You can spam damage from afar and be safe and still do lots of damage.
Oof. The Pharaoh's trying to go for me.
You healing?
Where's that fair?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Behind you, Mercy.
I don't know how many times I can say it. Like, this is just, like, there's nothing else I'm looking at except just how bad your positioning is here.
Oh, that bitch.
I'm gonna come res you in a second. Alright, so you're back?
They got rid of our only tank, so you have to be really careful.
Ours is back. I res her.
Okay, good.
And I have my ult ready. Oh, they're setting up turrets. They're setting up turrets. Oh, I died though.
They're on the point. The Metro's on the point.
And there's also a tracer.
You healing?
Honestly, your positioning is so bad, I can't find any other flaw because, like, it's just so overwhelming. Like, there's no need for you to be there. Your team called back that someone's on the point, so they're all falling back. You're all alone. So that, notice how, like, the only reason why you didn't die, besides them not focusing you, is your healers are keeping you up and helping focus you.
There's no point.
I need help with the straight. No, I don't. I'll just body that bitch.
Oh wow.
Someone on the point.
Some matches behind the stuff.
Yeah, she's half.
Oh, watch out behind you, Orisa. That's right.
Why did you stop shooting the person contesting the point and, like, the one person that could kill you? Like,
someone on the point.
it's Metra. Kill her.
Some matches behind the stuff.
You know what? I'm done.
Yeah, she's half.
She went behind the car, so I totally, no object permanence. Now I need to shoot the choke. It's like, what? I don't understand. Like, you just completely ignored, as soon as she left your eyesight, went behind that car, you're like, oh, she doesn't exist anymore.
Half.
Oh, watch out behind you, Orisa. That tracer.
See how you're spamming the choke from back there, even just from on the point? You still do the same damage. Like, you're being way too aggressive, and it's going to get you killed.
Oh, she's down.
Yeah, she burned through all her,
Oh, shit. Oh, damn it, they got me.
Me too.
Like a brand new person.
Good.
Nope.
I'm almost there. There we go. We got this. Oh, tracer.
get out of here.
Okay, that wasn't doing anything. So, you didn't need to shoot at it.
Catching bodies, getting W's. Let's go.
Okay, so overall, your Orisa was good positioning, bad use of abilities. Junkrat, what horrible positioning, like awful. Like that was just such the most blatant. Like, well, one, because you won overwhelmingly. There's hardly anything else to really look at. So just your positioning. Better teams will annihilate you there. Like, Like, I was just thinking, man, if I was facing this, I would have killed you over and over again. You are going to die there when you rank up. Like, if you, any, like, win streak you get, as soon as you play like that, you're going to just keep losing, you'll drop back down. So that's definitely what's holding you back as Junkrat. For the Orisa, you're just using all your abilities way too much. Like, you're just not using them at the right time but either, I don't know, you don't recognize it or it's on cooldown, so you couldn't use it at the right time. So work on using your abilities correctly, especially on that Orisa. And then for DPS wise, I don't know, like if you're a soldier, would you also be there? If you were McCree, if you were Tracer, you know, each one has their own positioning kind of things. And high ground almost always is the best thing for anyone that can shoot from range. And Junkrat can spam from range. He doesn't even need to look at the enemy team to do damage. He can bank grenades off walls and stuff and do tons of damage. So there was you putting yourself in danger for no reason, and that will get you destroyed. So I hope this has opened your eyes to like some of your flaws, even though you won this pretty handedly. If you can, there's definitely a lot of things you can see to improve, and some mistakes that they didn't punish that when they do get punished is probably why you're losing games. So I hope this helps, and good luck with your future games.